Last night it didn't. The one I did on Instagram didn't go through. Okay. I still can't see my people on. I can't see who's on live. I still ain't figured out that. Well, good afternoon. I want to thank you all for hanging in there for day 3 of the Ignite Your Purpose 5-day challenge. And we are having a great time in here learning about our purpose and learning how to maximize what we already have inside of us. What is our ability to get things done? What can we use that God has given us, that we have on the inside, that we were born with, skills that we've learned? How can we be even more effective at being and doing what we've been called to be and do? And remember, we talked on Sunday and we said everyone has a calling, everyone has something that they are responsible for bringing into the earth, for birthing into the earth. And so I want to encourage you all and challenge you all to get into your purpose. I want to encourage you all to get into your purpose, to live your life as you were given to live it, and just move forward fearlessly. This is one of the things that I have been, I believe, called to do, is to help people to get unstuck in their life, to help people to have to help people to have uh, to move fearlessly in life, regardless of where they are, what they believe they can do, to help them to see their capability and their greatness. So in doing that, on Sunday we said you have a purpose and you have passion, and we talked about how to look at your purpose and the things, the causes and the things that make you cry and the things that bring you joy, and see if you can figure out where the alignment is in your earthly assignment and how it fits in with your passion. And then we talked yesterday, we talked about your potential, and we said that your potential is your ability, or your ability to one day do something. And we said that potential is almost an insult, because usually people will tell you that you have potential when uh, when they tell you that you have potential when you're not using it, when you're not doing what is expected of you. So I want to encourage you all not to just get stuck on potential, having the ability to go the distance, but I would like for us to step up and continue to grow and move and escalate and elevate in our lives to the level that we should be. And then we said we're going to move from potential, and that movement is called momentum, when we actually move from being a stationary object, move from being having that inertia, to actually starting to take steps, starting to take action, putting ourselves in motion so that we can do what we believe in our heart we are supposed to be doing. And remember, the more movement that you have, the harder it becomes for you to derail, for someone to stop you. You become unstoppable in your movement. And so your momentum has to be acted upon by force greater than your desire to keep going. And usually when we get going and we have some wins, we have a tendency to want to continue that movement. And then we said, when your movement continues, it goes from, and y'all know I talk with my hands, it goes from potential energy to kinetic energy, which means that you have the ability to be effective at an exponential level, because you're piling on from what you did yesterday, and it continues to grow and it continues to develop and it continues to be what you have expected it to be. And every time you have a success, your expectation raises. But one of the things I want to encourage you is not to wait for your success in order to raise your expectation. That's why we've been going through those visualization exercises, so that you can go ahead and start raising your expectation in advance. And so we want to have that kinetic energy. And then from that kinetic energy, we talked about acceleration. You get it. If you've ever seen a wheel, when it starts to turn, the wheel turns and it starts real slow until it begins to get the speed, and then it speeds up and it starts to go faster and faster, and that's acceleration. And in your life, that is the rate at which you are getting things done, and how quickly you are becoming more effective, how quickly your skills are growing, how quickly you're beginning to release your gifts and talents and abilities into the earth. And so tonight we're going to talk about your power. And your power is your ability to change the motion, the movement, and the circumstances of your life. And hold on one second, y'all. Somebody keeps texting me, and they know I'm in the class. That you have the ability to change the motion, the move, and the circumstances of your life. So that is the power that you have. That is the influence that you have. You have the ability, when you look around your world, you have the ability to change it. You have the ability to bring about change. So here's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on power. We're going to focus on what it means to have power. And Phyllis, this is the only slide, so you should be able to get all these points written down. So power, it's about pressing forward, overcoming everything, work to win and not just to get by. Excel in your area of focus. Now, we can have a multitude of gifts and talents and abilities, and we can excel in all of them. But I want us to start focusing on what is the most important thing that we need to become experts at in order to move ourselves forward. And then raise your level of expectation. So that's power. Press forward, overcome everything, work to win, not to get by, excel in your area of focus, and raise your level of expectation. And so when you do that, when you do that, you are going to find that your confidence is going to go up. Your momentum is going to go up, and you are going to see yourselves doing the things that you need to do. So now I want to take a moment. I want to slow down just a bit, and I want to go through each of these steps. Now, let's go back a slide. And remember, we talked about power being your ability to change your circumstances, change the equation of your life, change what's coming into your world, and change what's going out of your world. And as you do that, you have the ability to affect other people's life as well. So that's why it's important, because you can change your life. And then other people see you striving and see you excelling and see you thriving, and they get motivated by the work that you are doing. So it affects not just you, but it has a ripple effect that goes everywhere. Your power is your influence. And if you recall, my premise for this my premise in regards to purpose is that when we unlock our purpose, we release our power. And when we release our power, it gives us the ability to change, and we are able to receive the prosperity that is our divine right to have. So that's why in our Facebook group, we call it the Purpose, Power, and Prosperity Sisters. And it's not because we're chasing after a dollar. It's not money's good, but money is not the only thing. However, there is nothing wrong with you having the resources in order to do the things that you need to do in your life, in order for you to make the change that you want to make in the world. But prosperity also speaks to your mental health. It speaks to your physical health. The Greek word used in the New Testament for prosperity is the same word that is used for peace, and it's the word Irene. And my grandmother's name is Irene, and I often wonder if her name was was given to her, because it means peace. And so when we allow our purpose to unfold, we unlock it, we discover it, we fertilize it, we allow it to grow, we take advantage of what we've been given on the inside of us and let it out, then that causes all of those things that we've talked about up to now. The potential, you go into movement, then you get momentum, then you get some kinetic energy, which is a greater amount of movement, and then you are able to produce power as a result of your velocity, as a result of the work that you're putting in. And that power, when you think about power, what happens when power is produced? It's a transfer of energy. And so when power is produced, a resource is born. You have light. You can have the transfer of something for, and it's an exchange. And so we have to be in a position where we are actively acknowledging our level of power, and we have to be in a position where we're actively releasing our power so that we can make a change in the world. And so back to our word. So when you release your power, we all have a tendency to look back at what happened yesterday, to look back at our failures, to look back at where we started that caused us to be in such a slow place. But what we should do is we should allow that to inform us to the extent that it is productive. We learn from our past, and then we move forward. We get that vision. We do the visualization exercises. We do a life plan, and then we move forward toward those things that we desire. We move forward towards the greater version of ourselves that we can be. We move forward knowing that on the day when we lay our head on our pillow and to go home to glory, that we can say that we are going in peace because we have done everything that we could do to die empty. That's our goal, to die empty. But you won't die empty, because the more you produce, the more you're capable of producing. So it'll be a continuous process. You will see that there will be an abundant supply available to you as you move forward, as you press forward. So that's the P in power. So then you're going to overcome everything. You are more than a conqueror. You are a winner. You are victorious. You have the ability to overcome any situation and circumstance that you are in. So you're going to overcome everything. You are going to be unstoppable. You are not going to allow anything to hold you back. You say in your mind that everything is moving forward according to the plan that I have been given by my maker, and therefore any obstacle that is in my path is an opportunity for me to release my power so that I can produce more power and be more effective and get more done. And then the W in power is we have to work to win, not to get by. Now, I have been guilty of this. I have been guilty of working to get by. How many of you have? Yeah, me too. I mean, I got to pay the bill. I got to do this. And so it makes you accept things that if you had your best case life, you probably wouldn't accept it. And so now where I am is I realize that we have to get out of that get by mindset. We have to work to win. We have to be in it to win. And so we have in the past been conditioned mentally to be grateful for just getting by. Now, I am a big proponent of gratitude. I say my gratitudes every morning to the Lord. But one thing that I know is that He does not want us to just get by. He wants us to super abound. He wants us to live a life of fullness, resting in the infinite supply of His resources that are available to us. So we have to work to win. We have to not accept just getting by. And when we see ourselves lowering our expectation to just getting by, we have to start checking ourselves. We have to start doing the work to check ourselves and say, whoa, let me go and let me rethink this, because I'm really accepting a lower case scenario as opposed to the highest expectation in this situation. And so the fourth thing that we have to do is we have to excel in our area of focus. We can't be satisfied with average and mediocre. We have to be, we have to have a hunger on the inside of us to be the best at what we are called to do. We have to be top of our game. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need to have an attitude of excellence. Now, one thing that can happen when we're dealing with excellence is we can mistake it for perfection. So I have some perfectionist tendencies that can hinder me from being effective, that can hinder me from releasing things when it's time to release them. So excellence is different than perfection in that excellence is a level by level paradigm. So when you are at one level, you have resources to be excellent at that level. And so you stay within a certain time, within a certain scenario. You don't go outside of your ability and your resources to be excellent. So you don't try to do something that someone who has $20 million would do, and you only have a budget of 500. If your budget is 500, you should go and figure out how to be excellent in that $500 budget. So that means, okay, there's some things that I can't have on the table because in order to have them on the table, I'm going to have to sacrifice and be mediocre in those areas. So they're off the table until I can bring them in at the level that they need to be. So we have to be willing to excel in every area of focus. And then the R is we have to raise our level of expectation. And that is what if we don't get anything out of these 5 days, I want us to raise your level of expectation. So when we raise our level of expectation, we wake up expecting a blessing. We wake up expecting the things that we have been praying for, the resources that we need to fulfill our mission. We wake up expecting them to come. We wake up expecting to get things done. We wake up expecting to be in service to others. We wake up expecting people to be in service to us because it is a reciprocating thing that we do when we give and we receive. And we don't do it necessarily so that someone can give us something, but it's just the economy that we live in, where when you sow, you're going to reap. When you give, you're going to receive. Now, what you receive is it's different for everyone based on where you are. And so we have to raise our level of expectation. And so that is how we release our power. We press forward. We overcome everything. We work to win and not get by. We excel in our area of focus, and we raise our level of expectation. And that is our talking points for what is the day? Tuesday, day 3 of the Ignite Your Purpose Challenge. And we will take this now. We will have a little conversation in our Zoom group. And I'll give you your assignments, which I've already given you, and then that'll be it for the night. So I'm going to end the live. All of you who are watching on the live, I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope this is a blessing to you, and I will talk to you real soon.